Years that we've been working on this.
Hagåtña Restoration and Redevelopment Authority Executive Director Lacia Cassell says the goal is to finalize the Hagåtña Master Plan by the end of this month and in the governor's hands by January. The ultimate goal of the master plan is to centralize the government in the island's capital. The latest draft version of the plan has been in the works since 2015, and certain components have already been completed, such as the opening of the Guam Museum and the Guam Congress Building.
And another part of the restoration project is the comprehensive economic development strategy, which includes 31 possible projects, ranging from the restoration of the palace, the governor's palace in Plaza de España, restoring and redeveloping the administration buildings, the land resources building, and bringing all these agencies back to Hagåtña where they should be.
Matter of fact, Cassell says discussions were held with the Guam Economic Development Authority and the Department of Land Management about a proposed 5-story, 50,000 square foot land resources building. The building would hold agencies such as DLM, the Chamorro Land Trust Commission, Ancestral Lands Commission, and several others. As for the plans for the Hagåtña lockup and the Department of Corrections to take over the Hagåtña Police Precinct, she says that is not included in the master plan and an issue the board will have to tackle.
It's the capital city. If you look at capital cities around the world, most of the government facilities are there, administration is there. It's the heart of tourism. It would, with the Plaza de España, I don't think it would be very eye-pleasing to have a federal detention center right across the street from that.
The master plan proposes building the Manuel F. Leon Guerrero Administration Building, where the lockup and Hagåtña Precinct are located. The 40,000 square foot building would include a multi-story parking garage to accommodate up to 450 vehicles. According to Lacia, once approved by the governor in January, it will go to the legislature. She is hoping a final master plan will be ready by next summer, with the ultimate goal
to rebuild our capital city and make it the crown jewel of Guam and the Marianas.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Meanwhile, the Guam Police Department is also continuing to receive information from the community about the sexual assault of a 13-year-old girl in Dedido. Police say they are actively investigating all leads, as well as information that they have been receiving.
It really is the stip information that has really led our DART investigators in identifying possible leads or possible suspects relative to this case. And with these types of cases, it really is the information that helps break the cases that's being provided to the community. But rest assured, we have our investigators that are continuing to follow up with these stip information, and of course the information that's provided to the Guam Crime Stoppers, and of course directly to the Guam Police Department.
The 13-year-old victim was walking home when she was grabbed from behind and pulled into the jungle and sexually assaulted along Loretta Street. She eventually managed to escape. Should you have any information, please contact Guam Police. Their number, of course, 472-8911. That's 472-8911. Well, the search is ongoing for a chief medical examiner and permanent morgue attendant. The Office of the Attorney General says during the last Commission on Post-Mortem Examinations meeting, there weren't any new updates on the hires. And that placement remains in the National Association of Medical Examiners Foreign Examiner. A MOU continues with the Guam Memorial Hospital to fulfill the morgue attendant position. Elsewhere tonight, 'tis the season at the Guam Legislature as your elected senators are putting up Christmas trees downtown at Guam Congress Hall. Chris Barnett has more.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas at the Guam Congress Hall. Senators continuing their holiday tradition of putting up trees at the legislature. Staffers from Senator Joe St. Augustine put the final touches on their tree, which was themed with Guam and American flags with a red ribbon making its way around the tree. Minority Senator Tello Taitagui was also on hand decorating.
Christmas? Oh, it's my favorite time of year. The more the merrier, the love. This is where peace on earth, goodwill toward men. I hope everybody puts that emotion in throughout the whole term. It would be very nice to have Christmas every day.
Each senator's tree is themed differently, and Senator Taitagui brought in a familiar face to help her decorate her tree. Former First Lady Christine Calvo of the Regalu Foundation tells us about the ornaments on this tree.
These are ornaments that were designed by our foster children over the years for the foundation, and we want to just ensure that we all remember the foster children.
Regalu means gift in Chamorro, and Calvo said she continues to work to support Guam's foster children. She said there are about 300 foster children waiting for foster parents. The public can view the trees on display at the Guam Congress Hall during regular working hours. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Also, Mount Carmel School celebrated its Patron Saint Day Festival in Agate. Chris is pulling double duty for us tonight. He was there and has this next story.
Patron Saints Day for Mount Carmel School in Agate celebrated this week. 7th and 8th grade students were asked to research a patron saint and share their findings in a static display in the school's Phoenix Hall. Patron saints are heavenly protectors in Roman Catholicism. They're regarded as heavenly advocates for a nation, place, craft, activity, or family. For example, St. Christopher is the patron saint of travelers. 7th grader Wyatt Santos did his project on St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland.
Because he represents the four-leaf clover, and it's really lucky, so I thought if I choose him, I could get lucky something.
Wyatt said his classmates were excited to research saints and learn about their lives.
We had a lot of fun, and we put a lot of work into it because it was one of our more higher percentage projects.
Lorena Chaco was one of the judges for the festival. She said she was amazed at how much work students put into their projects. As a Catholic, she found it very enlightening to reflect on the saints' lives and teachings.
I'm really very impressed that the children really took it to the level where they concentrate on a certain saint. And that's a good learning experience when it comes to our faith.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Thanks once again, Chris. Now, in other news, although Giving Tuesday took place a few days ago, the global movement continues to inspire and motivate people of all ages to help those in need. Our Jonah Gonchafris has more on one Boy Scouts project to help needy people.
14-year-old Chalampago resident Ari Rezninsky has been a Boy Scout for 5 years.
I saw it as a way to get outside more, do more activities such as kayaking, camping, rock climbing, some more fun activities for myself.
Currently with Troop 23, the Guam High School freshman recently presented a food cabinet to the Order Chalampago Mayor Jesse Gogui.
To become an Eagle Scout, you have to do a project that can help a community or a school, a church, something along those lines, so I decided to do the cabinet.
The cabinet was full of canned goods, non-perishable food items, and toiletries.
It was donations from people in my troop, from myself, from my family members. A lot of people collaborated together to get those donations.
According to his mother, Tennille, Ari purchased the cabinet and assembled it, adorned it with stickers. On the front it reads, "Community Cabinet. Take what you need, give what you can." As for what made him decide to do such a project,
I live really close to that mayor's office, and I saw some people that are less fortunate there, and just decided to do that place.
Mayor Gogui and his staff were delighted by his generosity and thanked him for his efforts.
It makes me feel good, and I feel that I'm doing my part to help our community and to make it more prosperous and have other people's lives improved from it.
His message for his fellow youth?
Help one person at a time. It doesn't have to be a whole entire group or a whole entire community. Just one person at a time would be terrific.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jonah Gonchafris.
Stay tuned, friends, because coming up next, Cami Aguirola with This Week in Trendspotting.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Normal should never be abandoned, abused, neglected. 265 foster children on Guam have longed for family, clothes, and food. See their faces, hear their stories, be a foster family, and bring them home, where faith, love, and stability will change their lives. Please support the magic of giving this Christmas.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Half holiday and happy holidays. I'm asking you to join me in supporting the U.S. Marine Corps' Toys for Tots program by donating a new or unwrapped toy for kids this year.
The Toys for Tots program, now in its 10th year on Guam, has partnered with the Guam Chamber of Commerce, Salvation Army, Catholic Social Services, and the KUAM Care Force.
For the third year, we have continued to expand into the CNMI in partnership with the Saipan Young Professionals.
Together, we hope to make this a Christmas to remember for all the kids and teens throughout the Marianas.
You may drop off your new unwrapped toys between now and December 13th in any one of our boxes throughout Guam, Saipan, or here at the KUAM studio.
We ask that when purchasing this year, please also remember gifts for older children and young teenagers.
On behalf of the Marine Corps Toys for Tots Foundation, Marine Corps Activity Guam, and the KUAM Care Force, we thank you for coming together and sharing in the spirit of the season.
This message is brought to you by the KUAM Care Force.
A viral video and a stolen tip jar. Here's what's coming up next on Trend Spotting. Hafa everyone, I'm Cami Aguirola and welcome back to another episode of Trend Spotting. Here are the topics that had you talking this week, starting with a video that has gone viral. He told police his last name was Immaculate Conception and his home address is Earth. His real name, however, is Jobert Boiser Carlos, and he was the man in a viral video who appeared to have been punched by a police officer while being cuffed and placed in a police car. A lifeguard said around noon on Tuesday at the Ipao Beach Park, Carlos tried to assault him. He was calling out other people to fight and was swinging punches at random people. On the way to the patrol car, court documents state Carlos thrust himself back towards the officer and kicked the rear bumper of the patrol car. The officer then conducted an open palm strike to Carlos's abdomen to gain compliance and placed him back into the patrol car. While being transported to the Tamuning precinct, Carlos allegedly repeatedly kicked the metal cage in the patrol car. Carlos was charged with criminal mischief, assault, and disorderly conduct. As for the officer in the viral video, the FBI is conducting a civil rights investigation, while the AG's office has been asked by GPD Chief Steve Ignacio to lead the criminal investigation. Here are some of your comments from the viral video. One Instagram user said, "Unacceptable. The individual is already down, give him some dignity. We don't need brutality. That's why GPD doesn't get the respect because of unacceptable professional behavior." Another Instagram user said, "In my observation, I noticed the guy not walking straight and the officer had to pull him back towards the car. And second, blocked by the fine lifeguard, you can see the guy's leg coming down as if he just kicked the squad car. Not the best way of going about the situation, but it doesn't look entirely uncalled for." On Facebook, Teresita Rodriguez said, "These cops think they're above the law. Take away their badges and let them do jail time for assault. Get with the program, Governor. We want justice before this gets out of hand." Another Facebook user said, "Even if you were to show the full video, that cop would still be in the wrong. The punch in the gut was absolutely unnecessary given the fact that the dude has already been handcuffed. Plain and simple, do not get me wrong. I have the utmost respect for my brothers and sisters in blue, but I get it. There's always going to be a few bad apples in the basket. Shame on this officer for conduct so below those of his fellow brothers and sisters in blue." Up next, video surveillance from a restaurant shows a man stealing a tip jar. He came in for lumpia and left with $80 in tips that weren't his. Somai in Jigo was robbed, and the surveillance video shows the suspect. Lauren Regis, who works at Somai, told KUAM that she and a coworker were getting ready to close the restaurant when a man came in. Reyes said the man made off with $80 in tips that workers were going to split at the end of their shift. She described the suspect as possibly being in his 40s, dark complexion, short hair, and wearing a blue hat. Her advice to the people of Guam as they suffer from a crime wave: always be careful, and it's always good to have cameras. On Instagram, our followers took to the comments. One Instagram user said, "The holidays, guys. I know it's hard for all, but this isn't the right way. God is the right way. This is his month. Why don't we just ask him or reach for him instead of an $80 tip jar?" Another Instagram user, _Frank Official, said, "That's messed up to take people's income like that, because that jar represents more than just extra money. That jar of cash is reflective of the customer service and food quality of that place. $80 is a lot of hard work for a small business. I hope someone reads this and is inspired to support local economy and show love by eating a meal and leaving a small something extra and take some pics and give these guys some social media love. Frank Patrick Aitasi was arrested for the beating and robbing of an elderly woman at Bajado's barbershop on Thanksgiving morning. According to the filings, he admitted to the crime, saying he had just lost money while playing machines at a game room. He went inside the Bajado barbershop, saw the woman, hit her multiple times, and stole $900. The victim suffered serious injuries and was transported to the Guam Regional Medical Facility. It was through CCTV footage, witnesses, and tips from the community that detectives from the Criminal Investigation Section managed to identify the suspect through a photo lineup. He was charged with first-degree robbery with a special allegation of vulnerable victim, theft of property, felonious restraint, and strangulation. Here are some of your comments. Evangeline M. Cepeda said shame on him, while another Instagram user said, I hope the victim and her family will get some justice. Good job to the community for helping. At Peter_Diego671 said, this is just sick. To do something like this on Thanksgiving morning. I hope this guy gets what he deserves. KUAM would like to thank all its participants in Giving Tuesday. On Tuesday, KUAM, with the help of various schools, businesses, and organizations, took part in Giving Tuesday, an international day of giving. This year, our team collected donations from our partners in the community. We want to give a huge thank you to M80 Office Systems, Manielu, Papa John's, Synergy Studios, the Guam National Basketball Team, Payless Supermarkets, Southern High School, Mount Carmel School, Ambrose Inc., Upi Elementary School, and Finagayan Elementary School for their donations that will go to Guam's children in need. Without your generous contributions and sacrifice, none of this would be possible. The effort doesn't end here though. If you would like to learn more about how you can assist with future events of this type, please follow us on Instagram at Giving Tuesday Guam and at KUAM Communications. That's all for this week's episode of Trend Spotting. Sidus Maasi for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Advances in technique and medications used to prevent dental pain have shattered the myth that a dental visit is something to fear. Even the dreaded root canal or wisdom tooth extraction. Swabbing or spraying a topical numbing agent on before the injection and using different techniques and anesthetics can create a relatively comfortable or pain-free injection. Injections are often the most feared procedure. Some patients don't like the sounds or the vibrations of decay removal. If you're still nervous or you gag easily, despite these techniques, very safe oral medicines can be taken before your dental appointment to eliminate all fears, or some clinics use nitrous oxide gas. Pain relievers can easily be prescribed to eliminate mild to severe dental discomfort after any visit. For your Helpful Dental Minute, I'm Dr. Kenny Bourgeois of Paradise Smiles. We shall never know all the good that a simple smile can do.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
It comes only once a week, and you never know what type of brie mix she'll have in store for you.
This, by far, is one of the toughest workouts I have ever done.
From adventures to instructional segments and even an occasional showcase of her hidden talents. In the mix is that weekly dose of fun during the time of the week when you need it most. So take a breather and join Sabrina every Thursday on KUAM TV and streaming anytime on our digital platform. Sergeant Paul Tapau is here, as he is each and every week, and it's this time of year, Sarge, that we talk about everything that you guys in law enforcement, you guys and girls, I should say, are doing to keep Guam safe. And the one thing that always goes on every year is the DUI checkpoints.
Absolutely, and you know, it's ironic how we're talking about this, and we were just having the earlier conversation about us actually making the announcements of the staged DUI checkpoints. But you know, the Guam Police Department, we continue to move forward with really bringing our fatalities down. That's the main goal behind everything. But in partnership with the Department of Public Works and the Office of Highway Safety, they just launched they just had the proclamation signing just this past week, and it's drive sober, get put over. And you know, the campaign, it focuses on the portion of the holidays, right? And what people do, the Christmas parties, the holiday festivities, and everybody celebrating.
Or just stress and, you know, people
yeah,
want to relax.
and it is, you know, and you know, being a former crash investigator at the Highway Patrol Division, aside from driver error or speed, we always look at the next factor, which is alcohol or drugs. And you know, we know there is an uptick of celebration, that we know that there is going to be an uptick of consumption of alcohol, you know, adult beverages and everything. And this is why we bring the campaign out to the community, and we inform them that this campaign initiative it's twofold. Really, it's the government's efforts in reducing fatalities and, you know, reducing any crashes that are that's associated with consumption of alcohol or impaired driving. And it really is a campaign that educates the community that, hey, you know, we're going to be here. We're gonna continue to put the media announcement. We are going to be doing the holiday suppression, the DWI suppression, from this week all the way into the next year.
And I want to talk about this because you and I actually have this discussion many times off camera, right? Is we put, you know, we do our job in partnership with you, and we put the DUI checkpoints. We say everywhere you're going to be at the specific times, and then we get all of these messages on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and people are like, "Oh man, KUAM and GPD, what is wrong with you guys? You're basically telling everybody where your checkpoints are going to be, so everybody's going to take alternate routes." But it's like, those aren't the only cops on the island, everybody. And if you think you're smart by taking an alternate route, you're in for a potentially bad surprise.
You're in for it, and it really it is. You know, our traffic investigators, along with our patrol officers, you know, we've been having training for the last couple of months, of course with the introduction of the recreational cannabis, in identifying motorists who choose to consume adult beverage, alcohol beverages or recreational cannabis. And this is an opportunity where we ask the community to be the stewards of the community and exercise, you know, good judgment by really designating a responsible sober driver. And we can say this, you know, it may sound cliche and everything, but when you do that, you actually give the gift of life. And that, I think, should be the campaign this holiday season and throughout that we.
And you've been saying that for the last 6 weeks, is give the gift of life.
It is really, because, you know, that sober driver can really save a life. I mean, I've seen crashes where, you know, siblings were taken as a result of a fatal crash. And that really, you know, that's something where, as a father, we had to develop the thick skin approach and how do we handle these crashes that involve minors, involve kids, involve family members that are going to be separated, and everybody's affected by it. It really is. And what it does is, like, it's that ripple effect, you know. It's the entire community. It touches everybody when we have to deal with fatal crashes that happen on our roadway, because if you really look at it and if you really go down to the bare essential, it really is a choice. It is a decision that's made for you to get behind the wheel, whether you decide that I'm going to take that risk and I'm going to get behind the wheel. I only had a few, and I'm going to take that risk. And if I get caught, you know, I mean, I'm taking it upon myself, but I know I can make it. But you see, that's the gamble that you take. You know, that's the lives. You're gambling with people's lives, and that's where we want to draw the line. And this is where we come in with our interdiction and enforcement. And you know, with the automatic confinement, you get caught over the weekend, and it's a 3-day weekend. You get caught over the weekend, you're going to spend 2 days in jail.
You have a lot of time to think about it.
You do have a lot of time.
Now, I do want to ask something, Sarge, because regardless of wherever the assigned and the designated DUI checkpoints may be, they may be, like, you know, in the middle of Tumon in front of the Guam beachfront condos, or they may be in Upper Tumon in front of
AK.
AKA Kmart, what have you, right? They're all over the place. Are these the kind of things, what did GPD typically look out for? And are these the ones where they randomly pull over maybe every third car or something like that?
Yeah, so it's random. I mean, it's standardized, it's random. And
so if I'm driving and I haven't had a thing to drink because I don't drink, right? I'm just coming back from, holiday shopping or something like that, and I do get pulled over. What am I supposed to do, and what can I expect to be asked of me?
It's standard. They're just gonna greet you. So it's pretty much the greeting line, and there the officers utilize that random stoppage as an opportunity to see, to use their senses to see if they're able to detect anything that may portray or give a clue or a cue that this person may be under the influence of either adult alcohol beverages or something of illicit. So this is the opportunity, and this is where the training comes in. And, it's pretty much if they have nothing, then you're free to go. But it's random.
It's 2 minutes out of your life to save somebody else's life.
It is. And you making that choice by just handing over the keys and saying, you know what, I think I had too much. That is the most responsible choice that you can make as an individual, and understanding that you are giving the gift of life by designating a responsible sober driver.
All right, Sarge, we appreciate it as always, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. And we're starting off the holiday festivities, so please, exercise caution, be cognizant of what's going on around you. And as we approach the end of the year, we're going to continue to provide information on how to stay safe this holiday season.
Okay. Have you started your Christmas shopping yet?
Not just yet, but I have ideas, so that's good.
So if I see you at the mall, I'm gonna go in front of you because I got a lot of stuff to buy too. So I'll see you there.
Yeah, thank you so much. Merry Christmas, Guam.
Merry Christmas to you and your family. And please stay tuned. We are back after this.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
The Matson USO Rock and Run for Our Heroes is coming back to the Guam Museum, Skinner Plaza, on Saturday, December 14th. Check out our fast and easy registration online at guam.uso.org. We'll be rocking out throughout the course. Laserdisc shoes, USO Tumon Bay and the Royal Orchid Hotel, or a USO Anderson. Special thanks to title sponsor Matson and all supporters of our USO Rock and Run for Our Heroes 5K.
Hafa-Day and happy holidays. I'm asking you to join me in supporting the U.S. Marine Corps' Toys for Tots program by donating a new or unwrapped toy for kids this year.
The Toys for Tots program, now in its 10th year on Guam, has partnered with the Guam Chamber of Commerce, Salvation Army, Catholic Social Services, and the KUAM Care Force.
For the third year, we have continued to expand into the CNMI in partnership with the Saipan Young Professionals. Together, we hope to make this a Christmas to remember for all the kids and teens throughout the Marianas.
You may drop off your new unwrapped toys between now and December 13th in any one of our boxes throughout Guam, Saipan, or here at the KUAM studio.
We ask that when purchasing this year, please also remember gifts for older children and young teenagers.
On behalf of the Marine Corps Toys for Tots Foundation, Marine Corps Activity Guam, and the KUAM Care Force, we thank you for coming together and sharing in the spirit of the season.
This message is brought to you by the KUAM Care Force.
And now, here are your weekend birthday shoutouts. We are sending our extra special heartfelt birthday wishes to the following Guamanians and abroad. Mercy Sablan Jesus. This shout out comes from the Macshot Mangafa, wishing you a very blessed birthday over in Washington State. We love you and we miss you. Also, happy birthday to Jasmine Sablan, who is blowing out the candles this weekend. And a very special happy birthday to Kohanilyn Dela Cruz. It's Kohanilyn's 13th birthday, aka Hani. This comes from all of us. All right, everybody, if you want to be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club, just register on KUAM.com. That's our time. We'll see you tomorrow night.